So, should I do the intro? I'm not gonna do the intro. It's never gonna happen again. It's only for special occasions. So, talk about this little video here. Talk about some wrestling. Pretty much gonna speak about what's been going on. SummerSlam till now. What I think about it? I don't know. Pretty much, I was at SummerSlam, I did that, I was there. Saw Bryan win the belt. He was champ for 5 minutes and 5 seconds, because I looked at the time, from the time where he won the belt to the time he got pinned and beat and Orton became champion. It's 5 minutes and 5 seconds. It's currently 1 o'clock, by the way. And at work, I have to leave for work an hour and a half. And, that's why I'm doing this little video. Anyways, that's besides the point. I don't even know why I'm rambling about that. So, Orton wins the belt. Next night, they bury Bryan. It was all planned by Vince and Steph and Trips. They were all working along all together, working everyone. And they finally got what they wanted. They didn't want Cena as champ. They didn't want Bryan as champ. So, Triple H pedigreed Bryan so Orton could be champ. And now they have this whole regime, even though they said they're not together. They did it for business. They don't like Orton and Triple H have personal problems, but for some reason they're working together. So they bury Bryan. They go next week. What did they do last week on Raw? Did they bury Bryan again? I know they buried Bryan. Oh yeah, they put him in that 3-on-1. Was that the 3-on-1 match? I think that was the one where he beat Rollins. Yeah, he beat Rollins. He won by DQ from Reigns and Ambrose, so he technically beat the Shield. And then he got beat down, triple powerbomb, and that was that. And everyone in the thing watched. And the worst part about it was, about this whole storyline, is that no one's allowed to say anything because they are scared to get fired. Just like Cody Rhodes did this past week, because he said something, and he had to face Orton, and they had a pretty good match. No one ever said anything about that match, how good it was. It was, had some really good, close near falls there. They got me a couple times. But Cody Rhodes lost to Randy Orton and now is fired, even though they brought up the situation that he's getting married. So who's not going to put two and two together and say, oh, he's leaving because he's getting married and going on his honeymoon. He'll be back in a couple weeks. As in a couple weeks, maybe he comes back at a Night of Champions. Maybe that's the theory I'm thinking, because for the past 3 weeks now, Bryan has been getting buried. He hasn't got a one-up on anything. And the one last Raw, which will be this Monday in Toronto, and I can't go because I'm working, but I will be at Night of Champions, because I'm going to that. Bryan's pretty much been getting buried. Well, not buried, but he's been getting disowned, per se. And he hasn't got his one-up to show how he has a fighting chance. He's pretty much been losing and pretty much getting dominated by everyone. So it expects you to believe, because most people think Bryan's not going to win the title in his first match against Orton, that he might win the title. And if not that, the match will end in disqualification, which I do not want to see, because I'm going there and it's pay-per-view. I think they've kind of realized they shouldn't be doing disqualification finishes on pay-per-view, but it'll have some type of a draw like they did last year, or some type of screwy finish where Bryan will get a rematch. But as of right now, the way they're booking it, it seems that Bryan might win the belt at Night of Champions and get the one-up on Orton, because they realize what they've really done. But overall, I don't think the storyline's bad. I think it's really intriguing. It's got me every week to watch, because I want to see what Bryan and Orton's going to do. And it's got a lot of other people, because I think a few weeks ago, I think it was 2 weeks ago, that Shield versus Bryan match drew 1 million viewers. That segment gained 1 million viewers, especially the part when the end of the match and the Triple H and Orton came out. That was a huge Raw rating boost. So they got that going for it, but this week's Raw rating went down, so who knows. Well, maybe because it's Labor Day weekend and people are going back to school and people want to spend the last day of summer, and now we're staying home and watching Raw. And next week it'll probably be the same thing too, because the first Monday Night Football game, I think, is a double header. So yeah, that's that. So pretty much what I think about the storyline, I think it's okay. But the way they're booking it, I think Bryan and Orton should have been going back and forth instead of making Bryan look weak for the past 3 weeks and probably possibly make him look strong at the end of Toronto show, where he'll probably hold the belt and start redoing the yes, and or Orton's grabbing his belt and running out of there, and Triple H running out of there, and the Shield has probably gotten beaten up by someone. And what was that whole Big Show deal going on? They're making him cry. They're trying to build up to another Triple H Big Show match that we saw. What was it, 2006? We saw that match at New Year's Revolution. That was the last time, and they had that whole DX ordeal where they feuded. But then that was pretty much it. That was 7 years ago. So, do not care if they're building up to a Triple H Big Show match where they seem like they are, some type of Bryan versus Triple H match, where I think that's where we'll be going. If they continue this, either Bryan wins and they Orton feud all the way to Survivor Series, or Orton keeps getting the one-up on Bryan by the cheating and whatever, and then finally at Survivor Series, pretty much Triple H versus Team Bryan, or even Triple H versus Bryan. I wouldn't mind seeing that match at all. That's what they seem like. That's what it seems like it's building towards, because it seems more like it's Triple H versus Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson versus Randy Orton versus Bryan Danielson, because Triple H is pretty much doing the work, and Orton just there in the background holding his little belt. And Triple H pretty much kind of buried Orton when he said, "That's my title. You're just holding it." It was something like that. It was kind of weird. It's like, so you're the champ now? You're the 14-time world champ? What is he, a 10-time or a 5-time WWE champ? Or I don't even know. He's held so many titles. I know he's a 13-time champ. I don't know what the different numbers are. Anyways, this video is me explaining why what I like about this feud, what I don't like about this feud. I don't like them burying it. I kind of like the storyline. I know it's a rehash, but I don't know. I'm enjoying it. Kinda not. I hope Bryan wins the belt. I don't care if they're building up to this whole Bryan wins the belt later on. I just want to be there when Bryan wins the belt. I was there once. I wanted to be there again. And then I just want to end the show with Bryan leaving with the belt. And I'm like, I'll be going home happy. Anyways, that is my video for you today. It's just a whole bunch of random things. I don't even know what I talked about. If you're still watching this video, please tell me what you got out of it, because I don't even know what I've been saying for the last however minutes. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And that is all.